Hello and welcome to the Retired Guy. This video is going to be part of the series of videos that I'm making about improving my computer system. Winter's coming and all, and today I'm going to be talking about a HOTAS mount. So please join me. So I've had these for years, probably 8 years or so, maybe 10, something like that. They're fantastic. They work great. I don't use them all that much. I certainly haven't anyway recently, but I do plan on starting to use them a lot more. And this is the old kind of model, but it's really exactly the same as the new ones. This is the X55 Rhino, Advanced Control Flight System, but it's made by Saitek, and Saitek has been purchased by Logitech some time ago. But it's exactly the same thing. It works perfectly, and I look forward to using them again. But my biggest problem with those is that I have to kind of place them like this, and then of course this moves. If right, stuff can move around, and I'm not comfortable. What I looked for online is a HOTAS mount. So these are called HOTAS. And it is supposed to attach right over here to the desk. Hopefully I could fit it. I'll find out in a few minutes. So yeah, let's open it up and see what it looks like. I'm a little bit excited about that. So I got these on Amazon. And if you haven't already seen my videos about the setup that I'm building here, well, I did a video on the chair, my new gaming chair, which I love. I did a video on my new gaming monitor, a curved 32-inch Dell monitor. I did a video also on the arms. This one, so the arm, I'm actually going to put a link up here so you can take a look at it if you didn't look at it. It's certainly well wrapped. Of course, it's made of metal for it to be. That'll be the same, but for the other, it's like it's a double of everything. Looks like. And these will be the brackets themselves. Looks amazing. I saw different models. I ended up getting this one because it was a Black Friday sale. Now, I also saw a model that you attach to the chair. I didn't think it'd be that great, to be honest. I probably ended up a little bit too far behind. And it's kind of clunky to move around with a chair with all that onto. So I figured I'm going to try this. This should be good enough for me, for sure. So instructions are very clear. Looks like it's in English only. Make myself a bit of room. With the monitors like that. I have so much room now. It's totally amazing. That looks nice. You see, to loosen it up a bit. They provide an Allen key. So then we just put this big rubber pad right in here. And that is adjustable. Isn't that neat? A little clamp. And it holds there too. And of course, this is adjustable. The part where it is shorter is going to go inside, also towards each other. like this. There you go. Or you will indicate it M6. So just attach these. Oh, look at that. There's actually a little, the nuts are already inside here. So it's important to align the nuts. Align it with the nut. Well thought out. There we go. This one is assembled. Wow. Now let's see if this is going to work out for me. So I'm going to have to lift this quite a bit. Okay. Oh, I have a problem already. So my keyboard is in the way of this mechanism. That's too bad. Did not think of that. So I'm going to have to figure something out here. Sure. On the other side, not as much of an issue. In fact, it's not an issue at all on the other side. It'll be really nice for sure. But on this side, I'm going to have to figure something out. Let me think a little bit. Okay, so I spent quite a bit of time to try to figure out, how to use this bracket with my issue that I have the keyboard. So basically, if I put the bracket here, I tried to put it here on the edge. It's just not enough. The edge is only about this wide, and it's just not enough to hold it strongly. So I tried different techniques. One thing that would have been really nice is I could actually put it the other way, like this. Right? And then you just put the holders on the other side, and that would have worked. But it's just too high. I'm gonna be like that, and that's really not practical. So that's good thought, but won't work. I did think about just adding a piece of wood here, which is still probably my second favorite idea. I might end up doing that, where I would just, screw in a piece of a 2x4 over here, a small piece of 2x4, and then just attach it here. That would be perfect for sure. I also thought about that, if I try to do anything over here, the keyboard won't open at all. So that's really out of the question. And remove the keyboard tray and put the keyboard on top, just for those games that require this. It's a wireless keyboard and mouse, therefore it would be a big deal. But then I looked, and removing the actual keyboard tray is more complicated, screws and everything. There isn't a quick release, which I wish would have been, that would be nice. So that didn't work out. So then I thought about, okay, can I just not put it here? And raise this as high as it is now. This is as high as it's going to go. But that would be just about right, I think. I think that would be just about right for me. I think I'll just try it out like that, because the other one is going to go in here, and I've got lots of room here. I could actually be a bit at an angle. So this is not in my knees, and the other one is going to be right here. So that should be perfect, right? And of course, with my adjustable monitors, it is no big deal for me to just put it wherever I want, right? And I could just do. So I think I'm going to try that. So So now I'm just gonna maybe set up the other one and give you some tips as I set it up, because this one I learned a few things as I did it. So I'll try to save you a bit of trouble that I got into. Okay. Here. Okay. Now what I wanted to mention is these things here, these plastic covers, they come off really easily. And when I installed the other one, when I set it up, I lifted this by mistake, and of course it fell off. And then I put this back, but I forgot to put, it's no big deal, I guess. But I mean, it's needed on this side, but up here, I guess it doesn't matter so much. But I'll keep it as a spare. See, but right now it is up here and down here. So whenever you move this, because now I will have to move it up, this is where you have to be careful, because if you pull down slightly, it's going to come off, and so you got to be careful with that. So I'm just going to loosen these things here. Just a tiny bit, and aim down, right? So I'll just tighten this over here temporarily, because I'm not exactly sure what height I want to put it. Okay, now this is ready to go. Now we have to put in these guys. Now, as you remember, as I said earlier, this shorter side goes inside like that. Same on the other one. So if I follow the instructions, this is how it goes. Okay, so now we're going to use our 4 pieces M6 16 millimeter, and it is interesting how it works. You could see here the nuts inside, and this is what moves. And you just got to place it where you want your M6 screws here. What's nice is that they have a good grip on them, so you can actually do most of the work with your fingers. So you have to use this to bring the bolt at the right place. And then just screw that in. Same thing on the other side. When these bolts come out, because the plastic things come out, and then it's kind of tricky to put them back. I spent quite a few minutes on the other one, but you know, I was learning, The second one is always a bit easier to do. Certainly is in this case. Okay. Now this bolt. There we go. Not too tight. And now on this side, I can see the bolt. The nut, I mean, sorry. Just put that right in here. There we go. So this one is going to go over here. And as I said, I have a lot of room here. So I could put it further up if I want. No problem at all. And so over here, I'm just going to have to raise the locking clamp here. I'm just going to have to raise that. So right now, it's got 4 bolts, and the bolts are not tight. When you raise the clamp, it closes up like this, right? So I have to actually close it and then adjust it to fit. Okay, so it looks good like this. I'm going to lower it just a tiny bit because I'll use this to adjust after. Okay, so tighten it a little bit, make sure that it doesn't move. And I could try it again. So now, when I close this, this should be the width or the height, if you want, of your table. So in my case, I'm missing just a tiny bit, and that's why you just use a little wheel here. And now, woof, it's getting pretty tight, so lower down a bit. There you go. Now the idea is going to be to lift that so it's at the same height as the other one. It does not have to be ultra strong, but now you can see they're quite a bit different height. So if this was to go on here, like that, so I'm going to have to move the joystick over to the right a little bit because it's in my knees. There you go. It's that simple. It is too low, I mean, and it is also a bit too far this way. So I'm going to have to bring it over. Bring this over all the way to the edge pretty much. Like that. So right now they're pretty much the same kind of distance from the desk. And that's exactly what I want. I just got to raise this a little bit. It is too low. Okay? So to raise this, probably easier to remove it. It's so easy to remove. This is the part I love about it. Right? And now I want to raise it. Right, so again, these screws here. So I want to raise it by how much? Maybe like that. I'll just put the joystick on it. So I think about like this would be just fine. So there you go. So now I'm just going to attach the joystick and the throttle to them. So how do we do that? So in the case of the Logitech or Saitek in my case, this is pretty wide. And it looks like the M5 60 millimeter would fit nicely. Comes out the bottom nicely. Fits in the hole perfectly. in the instructions, they actually show using only 2 screws, one on each side. That makes sense. I mean, not going to go anywhere if you tighten it properly. So the other one will be over here. And now we'll just put that where we want it. I think the distance here is just a bit too short. Yeah. Now they do say that you can, depending on the size of your either your joystick or your throttle, you know it's okay to actually put it over here as well, or here. But in my case, I'm going to want it like that. I'm happy with the way these are now, so I will tighten them. It moves up and down like that. I'm not too sure why it was designed that way, but it really doesn't matter, because once the joystick or the throttle is installed on it and screwed tight, it's probably not going to move anymore. Okay. I don't want this in my knees, so I'll just maybe push it a tiny bit more. We got these nuts here. Looks like they might be self-locking. And then just going to use, this is the medium Allen key. I don't think it has to be very tight. Look at that, eh? You still have access to the keyboard, do whatever. You don't use the keyboard much in those games. Wow, that's going to be really nice. So let's do the other side. So once again, you want to adjust this so that it is about same distance. So in my case, I'm gonna move these even further out. Again, I don't want to have these things in my leg, so I'll just push it to the left as much as possible. Okay. Put this one over here. Now, the front is definitely not lined up. I'll just line it up properly. Go. That should fit nicely now. Perfect. Just moves it a little bit. Moves a bit, but it's really nothing compared to when it's on the desk, right? So in my case, because as I mentioned in my video about the monitor arms, I have 2 USB ports on the actual stand. So I just put in a cheap 2.0 hub, and now I could just plug in here my joysticks. And in my case, the wire just goes over here and on this side. It basically just goes down to the back. Okay, so there we are. Works perfectly. I think it's a tiny bit too wide, so I'm going to have to maybe just move this over a little bit. Why don't I do that? It is going to be so easy. Unsnap, push it to the left a bit, re-snap. There we go. Yeah, that's perfect. Right. Now I didn't configure any buttons other than just the major ones. But there's so many buttons on these that you could do everything. Flaps, you could do, of course, the landing gear, all the different weapons, the camera. So camera is always interesting. Very beautiful. Gun fires nicely. Can zoom in. That's cool. Pretty good plane. Flying 400 and something kilometers an hour. Very nice. See if I could do a flip. Not quite. Now this game is playable in VR as well. And of course, with VR, you don't see your hands. So it's going to be nice to have this because you can feel the controls pretty easily. And so I look forward to trying this. I'm not going to do it now, but this is really, really nice. You can imagine that in VR. You're literally in the plane and you just look around both ways. Now I'm just doing free flight. I haven't played this game in years. Okay, so this is really cool. I'm super happy. This is perfect. And it doesn't have to be any stronger than that. It's not like I'm, moving them like crazy. So that's great. So I just want to say that I like I like these a lot. I mean, I haven't used them for very long, but I find that they could probably adapt to pretty much any situation. Mine was pretty awkward, and it still worked. So yeah. So uh, if you enjoyed this video, please like and please subscribe to my channel. It helps me, and it helps other people see my videos. The more we have subscribers. Until next time.